Conservation Commission meeting.
It's what?
It's been a while since I've been to a Conservation Commission meeting.
They're very exciting.
We're live.
Um, we're alive. Okay. Welcome everybody to tonight's Conservation Commission meeting of June 11, 2025. I don't know. Hang on. I don't have it in front of me. All right. I don't have, maybe I do. Hang on. I'm looking for the legal stuff, which I don't have. You want to read it, Lucia?
Yeah, I gotta grab glasses. Hold on.
Thought I had it.
In accordance with Mass General Law 30A, Section 18 to 25, notice is hereby given a meeting of the Peabody Conservation Commission. At this time, the Peabody Conservation Commission hearings will continue to be held remotely, which is allowed pursuant to Governor Moore Healey's March 29th, 2023 extension of the temporary provisions allowing remote hearings until March 2025, and further extended by the remote meeting flexibility extended through June 30th, 2027, signed by Governor Moore Healey on March 28th, 2025. The public is participating remotely. Can everyone mute themselves, please? There's feedback. The commissioners here present tonight are Chairman Stuart Lazaris, Secretary Michael Vivaldi, Commissioner Bruce Comack, Commissioner Arthur Athis, and alternate Commissioner Jamie Harrop, who does have voting rights tonight, in the absence of Vice Chairman Rizzo and Commissioner Cassidy and Commissioner Green. Stu, you're muted.
First item up is a discussion item. It's a request from Bethel Congregation Cemetery, David Ankleys, Esquire, David McKenna, groundskeeper, Kurt Bellavance, community development located at 520A Lowell Street, vegetation management plan. Who wants to speak? Go ahead, Kurt.
Thank you. By introduction, my name is Kurt Bellavance. I am the Director of Community Development and Planning for the City of Peabody. And I started my career back in the 90s with the City of Peabody in Lucia's position. So I'm familiar with the Conservation Commission and have worked with several conservation commissions through my career. But I'm here this evening. You are probably aware of the Independence Bike path that we've been working on with the state in regards to expansion of that in two sections. One from the Leahy Clinic Mall area to Endicott Street, and then the other one that would connect Lieutenant Ross Park, Cy-Tenny, to the Peabody Road project, which includes a bridge over Route 1. That's why I'm here this evening. Many of you probably have heard from Brendan Callahan in the past. This was his project that he was working on for our office. Brendan got a new job and was promoted to director in the town of Marblehead. So congratulations to him, and we're happy to see him succeed in that position. So by default, I am taking over the bike path project. I'm kind of excited about that since I was working on the bike path project back in the 90s when we first got the original bike path going forward. So it's nice to see that we've been still moving forward on that. But part of this project, we've, or at least Brendan has in the last few years, developed a good relationship with Bethel congregation and the cemetery folks, because a part of the bike path will cross over their property over near the Proctor Brook, which is adjacent to the Interstate 95 right of way. So we've been working with them closely. As Brendan left this past winter and I took over, I started working with the cemetery closely in regards to this. Part of the project was already approved through the Conservation Commission with an order of conditions. We have that in place. And there are other permits that we need to move forward in regards to with the state, a Chapter 91 waterway permit. I'm not as familiar with that, but I know we're in the process of moving forward with that as well, and several other things in regards to that project. But as our discussions and relationship continue to move forward with the cemetery, they had asked me about doing some work at the cemetery. They wanted to basically do some cleanup or grounds maintenance to the property to try to dress the cemetery up, create it as a more attractive site where people would go and mourn their loved ones, and then other ceremonies that they would have that take place. So I had asked them what they wanted to do. They drafted up a plan that they wanted to do. Much of this, I don't want to say much of it, but several areas that they're looking at doing is in the buffer zone area. Just from the nature of the property, it runs along Proctor Brook. It runs along where drainage was coming off of 95. So they're almost on two sides of it. They have wetland areas. They're not looking to do anything in the wetland area, just work in the buffer zone. But much of the property is kind of covered with the buffer zone. So I asked them to put together their plan. They drafted that. I met with I talked with their groundskeeper maintenance person. I also talked with David Ankeles. He had suggested, we talked to the Conservation Commission. I agreed with them 100%. That's the process we needed to do. And then I know that Commissioner Bruce Comack and Commissioner Mike Rizzo went out to the site. I was at another meeting, but broke away from that and was able to speak with them on speakerphone while they walked the site, and we went over the different areas that the cemetery were looking to maintain. So we had done that, and then I proposed to them or suggested that they send that information to the commission, and I drafted a memorandum in regards to that to let the commission know what they were looking to do. I told them that I would certainly help out because we've been working closely together in this area for several years now. And so they put that together, and they're just looking to let the Conservation Commission know what they're doing, what they want to do, and try to clean up the area. I know some of the graves are being impacted by hanging branches. It's tough to describe, but if you go out there, you'd see exactly what we were talking to, and some of the commission members may have been out there already. So I'm here to help answer any questions in regards to that. I know that I had said to them that I would come before the commission tonight and talk to you and try to answer as many questions as I can. And I think David Ankeles is on here as well to answer some questions. But we're happy to touch on anything and answer any questions you may have. Thank you.
David Ankeles, good evening.
Good evening.
Do you have anything to add?
Pardon me?
Do you have anything to add?
Well, the only thing I can add to that is that I'd like to thank Kurt and Commissioner Comack and Commissioner Rizzo for the time and the effort that they put into this. This was an opportune time to go out, coordinate our efforts here, hopefully get to where the city wants to go and where the Department of Transportation wants us to go, and to take care of any of the concerns that the temples have. I've been working on the bike path with Brendan as it relates to the North Shore Shopping Center portion, and I'm familiar with it. Would like to see it completed. Brendan's put in a tremendous amount of time, and Kurt now is unfortunately saddled with the additional job of completing what Brendan started and has done so well with, and hopefully I can help him. The clients here, Temple Bethel and another temple, merged, and they asked me if I would guide them through this. I indicated that I thought that Kurt Bellavance, the director, was extremely competent and would be able to take care of this. And I'm kind of walking simply by Kurt's side on a pro bono basis for these two synagogues and cemeteries, and hopefully with Kurt's assistance and the participation shown by Commissioner Comack and Commissioner Rizzo, that we'll be able to resolve or achieve a maintenance plan, so to speak, that will allow the temple to coordinate its work with community development and the Conservation Commission as it meets the requests to complete the bike path. We'd like to help out as best we possibly can. Thank you.
Thank you. There was a number of items that were discovered, I guess, at the site visit. Bruce, do you want to talk about those?
Yeah, through Chair, Stuart, basically what they're asking for is just what I would consider normal maintenance. There's a lot of trees that have overgrown into the cemetery, but the bases of those trees are they're on the edge of the buffer. The cemetery itself is in the buffer. So there's a lot of dangerous overhanging trees. They want to remove those. Some of them can be pruned, but some of them, pruning them would be the wrong thing to do. They should just be removed. Mike and I walked it. Again, it's just what I would consider normal maintenance. One of the things they have asked to do, because PMLP is going to remove an electric line, they want to put an underground trench, an underground conduit for some electrical along the edge of the cemetery. Again, they should be able to trench the conduit and backfill it in one day. It's not like there'd be any danger to the wetlands at all. Another thing they wanted to do, they want to stabilize a drainage ditch. Literally, there's a drainage ditch there's a drainage pipe that goes under a roadway, and they would like to just stabilize it. Again, it's within the buffer, but if they don't stabilize it, they're gonna have it's gonna be a problem. So they would like to do that. And then there's just literally some normal maintenance. They want to just mow an area that hasn't been mowed along a roadway and just make it a regular lawn. Again, there's some work involved in that, but there's no danger to any wetland at all.
What's the distance that we're talking here? Like,
it's in the buffer, I would say, from the actual wetland. It's probably the buffer's probably, they're probably 50, 60 feet from the wetland. And it's very simple it was very simple to, Mike and I walked it. It was very simple to see, because the wetland flagging had been done. And I'm assuming the flagging was there from the bike path, when they were doing that. So it wasn't like we had to say, well, the wetlands probably around here. It was flagged. Again, none of this is going to require any kind of excessive um, excavation or anything like that. It's just general, what I would consider general maintenance. I think I think the temple is being a little overly cautious. I think if they weren't being respectful to the commission, they would just have done the work. Um, I don't, I don't know if we would have ever known the difference because it's literally, I would consider normal maintenance.
Anybody else in the commission?
Through the chair. So in the packet, we have letters from Commissioner Comack and Commissioner Rizzo. Mr. Ankleys, you've looked at those letters from Commissioner Comack and Commissioner Rizzo? And so in those letters are certain conditions or suggestions to be followed. So is that everything okay with that?
Sure.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So what else are we looking for? Is this good? I don't know. This is a discussion item. Are we going to need to have another meeting for a notice of intent or determination of applicability, or is this like if we vote approval, then everything is finalized? I don't know.
I would suggest that this is as, may I speak?
Yeah.
I would suggest that this is, as Commissioner Comack stated, a normal maintenance agreement. And that if in fact those items as listed by Commissioner Rizzo, and again, I want to thank him for the effort that he's made to get out there and take a look at all of these minor items. I think it would simply be a vote on a simple maintenance agreement, incorporating the 5 paragraphs cited by Commissioner Rizzo, unless Commissioner Comack thinks otherwise.
I don't, again, I'm not a lawyer, but I certainly don't think this is going to require an NOI. I don't really think it even needs an RDA. I think we should just memorialize these things as maintenance items, and basically it's been spelled out the areas that they can maintain, and just let them maintain them through this agreement. I mean, it's just a maintenance agreement. That's all I really think it needs.
Is this a public meeting that we have to close?
Again, I'm not. You have to ask Lucia.
Yeah, I would open it to, excuse me, through the chair, sorry guys. I would open it to members of the public, but you don't have to close it. You guys would just, if you guys are fine with this as an, like a maintenance, we've done this similar for PMLP. So it's really up to you guys. If everyone feels fine with it, you could vote on it with Mike, contingent on every work has to be done according to the memo by Mike Rizzo and Bruce Comack. But I would certainly open it to members of the public just in case someone is here.
All right. I will open to the public.
I have a quick question first, Stu.
Go ahead.
So I'm a little bit confused. This is a question to Bruce or I guess Kurt. I'm confused how this relates to the bike path. I understand it's vegetation maintenance, but Kurt, you kind of opened with the idea regarding bike that you took over with Brendan's position, and then you went on to explain about the bike path. But I don't quite understand how this relates. It seems like 2 separate items to me.
Sure, I'm happy to explain. We're looking to take over the city, a large portion of this property towards the rear, so that the city will
as an easement.
Yes. So they were more concerned. The cemetery is more concerned about our work and impacting them, and so we started just working together because they were asking, well, if we trim stuff, are you trimming things? And so it's more of a mutual relationship and as it relates to this project. And as I don't remember who had mentioned it, but it was more of a we said we should talk to the commission and let them know, and they respected that and wanted to let the commission know that we'll be out there. Where the city's going to be out there for the next 2 to 3 years over their property, using their property. We'll be out there on a regular basis as we construct the bike path in that section on their property. So I think they were looking to. They said, "Hey, well, if you'll be out there and we could do some work, you'll be able to see what we're doing." And we thought it was a good idea.
So is this like that the easement will be, I'm still a little bit confused. So the easement is one item, but then the cemetery wants to also clean up their own property and maintain their property.
Correct.
So it's kind of, and so the easement has that, I guess has that been obtained or no, not yet?
No, not yet. We're still in the process. We still have to go for that Chapter 91 waterway. I'm not sure. I think maybe the Army Corps. I'm not sure who do we go to that, but that's our next step. And so we've just been going along and keeping, because we're doing so much work out there, we've been just keeping the cemetery informed, and they have a lot of questions and so forth.
Okay. So it's a little bit like a mutual kind of collaboration here, the easement, but then also they want to clean up their own property.
Correct. Yep.
Okay.
I believe there's also a third party of PMLP involved, correct, Bruce, Kurt?
They did install some poles out there. I haven't been involved as part of that, and I know one of the areas that it's very close to a lot of the grave sites, and that was one of that the cemetery had asked maybe they could put that in through underground conduit instead of having that hanging over the grave sites. So I think that was the one that Commissioner Comack had mentioned.
Kurt, if I may, I think PMLP has requested that we remove those that overhead wire. There is a wire that runs along the edge that they would like to have. There are 2 poles. They'd like to cut the pole. The PMLP would like to have us cut the poles at their base, remove the wire, and put the wire in a conduit. That wire leads to a sprinkler system control, and they would like to have us get rid of those overhead wires because they've had to replace them a couple of times due to the trees deteriorating, branches falling, etc. So it was at the request of PMLP that we involved that particular item. And as described by Kurt and just now by myself, it's a very shallow trench. Usually it's dug with a very small machine that is used sometimes to put in a sprinkler system. It goes down about 2 feet. The conduit will come in and they'll put the line into it. And it's really not a very big trench. It's almost like a slit. And it doesn't cause any real disturbance. And again, it's at the request of PMLP that we go forward with that.
Is this something that the cemetery will do, or is this something PMLP will come in and do?
No, it's something that the cemetery will do. They'll come in, PMLP will come in and cut the posts at their base, and we will take care of the rest of it through a contractor.
Okay. Anybody else have any questions? I see nothing. I see no hands raised in the public. So
Move to close the public hearing.
No, well, I guess we should kind of determine whether or not an RDA is required or not from this conversation. I think that's the most important item.
I think we did that. It was the maintenance, not whatever the conversation prior was that this is identified as a maintenance project and not a
Yeah.
RDA or
Working,
notice.
it's working within the buffer areas of wetlands. I
Right.
mean,
but through the chair, I agree with the commissioners. However, it's going to be, this is something that's going to be an ongoing maintenance thing. So if they have to come in for an RDA every year and a half, every time they go to do maintenance, they're just trying to get it, again, we have similar agreements with PMLP where they're just going to do maintenance on their own property. And they're not going into the, if you, I guess you'd have to see, you'd have to walk it to understand completely, but basically, and this is probably in the 50s. When they built that cemetery, you'd have to see it, they obviously filled the area and at the, where the graves are, and then there's a steep slope down into the buffer. Now, technically, the cemetery itself is in the buffer, but they're just going to be doing maintenance to the cemetery areas itself.
okay. Well, why don't we just formalize it somehow then that this property has permission to work within the buffer that without any kind of formal application to the Conservation Commission.
I agree.
I think that's what the maintenance agreement does.
Sure. And so is that maintenance agreement prepared or has it not been prepared? I'm sorry, I'm sorry if I haven't seen it.
I think the maintenance agreement would be based on the submission made by Commissioner Rizzo. And
Correct.
it would simply state that the cemetery is allowed to do the work stated
Okay.
within that document pursuant to the terms and conditions set forth therein by Commissioner Rizzo and Commissioner Comack.
Okay, so I think, and Lucia, you would prepare a draft of that?
There's two, so Attorney Ankley submitted paperwork, like a letter explaining with highlights, and then he also submitted a plan. It all should be on the OneDrive. And then both Commissioner Comack and Vice Chairman Rizzo posted their thoughts. So if you guys
I see
wanted,
those, yep.
what?
The letters from Commissioner Comack and Rizzo are visible, but I don't see any kind of like the proposal to the city first draft. Is that what the one is for no. I was talking about like a actual
There's a
formalization.
2025 memo to conservation. It's labeled 5/2025 memo to Conservation Commission Cemetery Plan. Then there's 5/25 letter, David Ankley's. And then there's a proposal to the city, and it looks like the same proposal might be on there twice. No, one's the plan, one's the proposal with highlights. And then there's a letter from Bruce in the file that says Comack letter. And then there's a bunch of stuff from Mike Rizzo in the file that says docs from Mike Rizzo.
If I could jump in, I had asked their cemetery to put together a plan, and they had their longtime maintenance supervisor put together a basically an operational plan or maintenance plan with a map. So that's what they submitted, and then that's what I believe Commissioner Rizzo took and went and walked the site with Commissioner Comack, and then that was and then Mr. Rizzo drafted his conditions. So I think if the commission were to vote, they would vote to allow the maintenance plan based on Commissioner Rizzo's memorandum describing the constraints of that maintenance plan. And then that would allow them to move forward and do that within the confines of Commissioner Rizzo's memo.
Are you all set, Mike?
Sure.
Okay. Do I hear a motion?
Move to close the public hearing.
You actually don't, it's really not a public hearing. We're just at a public hearing. You guys would just need to make a motion to memorialize that you're accepting the memorandum from Attorney David Ankleys, and then all work must be done according to the memo from both Commissioner Comack and Vice Chairman Rizzo.
So
I'll make
moved.
I'll
Do I
make
hear
a
a
motion
second?
to formalize the formalize the memorandum of for this cemetery maintenance, and with the on the basis of the plan that was submitted, and on with Commissioner Comack and Commissioner Rizzo's the site walk written visitations.
I second that.
Roll call.
All right, that motion to formalize the maintenance agreement was made by Mr. Vivaldi, seconded by Mr. Athos. Roll call, Chairman Lazares,
Yes.
Secretary Vivaldi,
Yes.
Commissioner Comack,
Yes.
Commissioner Athos,
Yes.
and Commissioner Hara.
Yes.
All right, so that passes 5-0.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you.
You.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, and I'd like to especially thank Commissioner Rizzo and Commissioner Comack for the time that they put into this. It's very much appreciated, and we look forward to working with Director Bellavance and hopefully getting to see the end of the bike path. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yes, thank you again.
Next item, notice of intent. Continued public hearing on a notice of intent submitted by Attorney John Kelty, Esquire, for Samir Zeppa, applicant owner. The proposed project consists of removal of existing dwelling, pool, driveway, and construction of a multifamily house with utilities and driveway. Property is known as 20 Parsons Street, map 95, lot 380 in Peabody, Mass. Is anybody here to speak about that?
Good evening. You can hear me now?
Yes.
Thank you. John Kelty for the applicant, and I believe this matter, we've got something of a quorum issue. At the last meeting in May, there were only 3 members present this evening from that meeting. As such, it would appear to me we don't have a quorum, and I should continue this matter till July 30th.
Okay. Need a motion to approve the continued.
That accurate? Resolution. I don't know who the 3 members were. So
Last meeting, Stuart was not presiding. I had Arthur, Bruce, Amanda, Mike Rizzo, Mike Vivaldi, and Brian Cassidy. Those were the 5 present in May, and tonight we have 3 of the 5. Tonight I have Commissioners Athos, Vivaldi, and Comack. So,
Jack, didn't this come in April too? I know I wasn't in May, but I do remember this discussion.
my notes are all from a May
Okay.
meeting.
Okay.
And so, oh no, I guess it did in April because there were no new plans on 5/7 in your possession.
That was in May.
That was in May. That's what I said. So do we know in April? April, I had Mike, Bruce, Arthur, but same problem. Well, Stuart was there, so I guess.
Yeah, I was there at the time. The issue then, as I recall, was we needed an updated plan showing.
And we do. We've done that. So I guess I do have four present this evening from that meeting. Is missing well, we didn't advance the matter last month. So I guess I would need to go 4 for 4 tonight.
Here we go.
So we have filed a new plan. In this new plan, we have located our trees, which was a request made by the commission. We've added a conservation restriction area. We've shown a dwelling on the left, which is the same size as on the original plans. The right one, the right dwelling was 36 by 30. It's now 26 by 30. We've added the elevation from the newest FEMA information, that is July 8th, 2025. We've added that Zone A elevation. And we've also added a note which suggests the trees that are to remain by
all of them.
trees, a note that says the trees that are to remain in the conservation area. We are now in a position where we've finalized our plan. We've responded to issues brought up by the commission. We've made the structure, the proposed dwelling on the right-hand side, we've made it smaller so that it's a bit less intrusive into the wetland areas, the protected areas. And I was going to suggest that I believe we've complied with the requests that were made of us at that first meeting. And then at our May meeting, we were unable to move forward because the plans had not been circulated properly. Now they are. We've got sufficient membership to take a vote. I don't know whether the commission was having a review externally done or not, and if they've heard from anybody with respect to that. We did receive comments from the DEP in which they suggested that we needed to provide notation relevant to the new FEMA information that's been circulated. We've done so. So we would ask that the board that the commission issue an order of conditions.
Has this gone before the zoning board of appeals?
No, doesn't need to.
Does not need to, you think, because the size is within
We're in an R2
zoning.
zoning district, and I have,
Right.
yes.
Anybody have any questions?
I have a question for Lucia and whether or not it's possible that we could have a peer review of the wetland and the project of the, I know it's not typical, but it's, well, I forget what the chapter of the mass general laws, but allows for peer reviews of such projects.
That would be up to the commission and the applicant to decide on that.
Well, I think the only question for the applicant is whether we'll pay for it, correct?
Well,
if you
I
decide
don't think
we're gonna
I don't think you would have a choice under that law, but I would have to like look at the law. I don't know what law you're talking about. I think under our local ordinance, it states somewhere in there that it is the applicant the applicant would have to pay for it. But I mean, this new plan, this is just my 2 cents, and we should definitely open it to the public. And I think the commission should vote however they see appropriate. My 2 cents is that if you guys are going to vote on this, that you should condition it that the granite posts are in perpetuity. And that's really it, that no cut zone is no disturb zone, no cut zone, is in perpetuity. So it's really up to the commission as a whole. I am a little thrown off though by you saying that you don't have enough people tonight. And then I started going back and looking. Stuart wasn't actually here, and I don't have any documentation that he read the minutes per the Mullen rule. So, but I don't think we had that much of a discussion. So I'm just not sure. I don't know if we want to open it to the
Lucia, at what meeting? At
the last meeting.
May
Stuart
meeting.
wasn't there.
Yeah, the May meeting, we didn't go forward because you guys didn't have the plans.
Okay, so we didn't even have a discussion at all.
That's correct.
We had a discussion about the fact you didn't have the plans.
That's correct, Lucia.
All right, and I don't think Jamie would be able to vote on this, so you would have, it would just be the bare bone quorum of 4, because I don't
Right.
think, unless, Jamie, were you at every single meeting for this?
So I believe this first came up in April, and I was at the April meeting. I remember this discussion. It
Right.
actually had quite a lengthy public discussion as well.
Okay, yes.
And then to Jack's point, in May, per the minutes, and I wasn't here, but per the minutes that we're working to approve, there was a limited discussion because the plans weren't available, and then the plans are dated 5/27, so that would be applicable for this meeting.
Okay, and of course, it's the only one on the agenda that or one of the only ones that I didn't put first meeting date of. So sorry about that. So it's up to you if you guys, well, I think Jamie can vote, so you would have 5. I don't know if you guys want to discuss about peer review. I just don't, I mean, what would the peer review accomplish? Are you questioning the river? Or are you questioning the amount of work they're doing in the riverfront? I think
the wetland flags determines the amount of where the buffer is created, where the determination of that, if that wetland flagging comes in hypothetically, then it changes the whole landscape of the plan.
Well, I mean, the river's there. You saw the river. The river bank isn't changing.
I know, but just hypothetically, if the hydraulic soil's more what's the word? Hydraulic? No.
I mean, if
Hydric.
yeah, if there was if you're saying like the possibility of that being BVW, where now like this area right here and like now this is extending into a buffer zone, it would just be now we have riverfront and we have overlapping buffer zone. The whole property's in riverfront. Riverfront's considered resource. So really the riverfront is the most important. There is FEMA floodplain now. If there is FEMA floodplain. I can try to draw it on here. So if I can zoom in a little bit. So that's too much. That would mean that if I can, so the Conservancy District is like here. I don't think there's much work you can do past the Conservancy District. And I would prefer Mr. Kelty, Attorney Kelty, to speak to that. Just because I don't know enough about the Conservancy District. So that's one layer. That's why they're not doing anything in the Conservancy District. And that's why they, were willing to put these posts here and call this a no disturb zone. Here's the FEMA. This is the new FEMA right here.
Right.
If you can see that. So that's considered resource as well. Maybe there's BVW associated with that floodplain. I don't know. Where there's no work in there, I personally am not too concerned. All the work's in the front of the lot. Someone's going to put something there, whether it's this size or not. That's really up to you guys to decide.
Thank you.
Yeah, through the chair, I just don't see that much. I don't see this much any effect on this area. I don't think there's that much of an increase in impervious. I'm looking at the 2 drawings, and I mean, huge driveway in the first one, which is going to be eliminated.
Bruce, there's one house where there's now 2 houses. It's going to be 2 different lots, but
unless it's drawn different, unless the scale's drawn.
Bruce, there's a whole lot more impervious.
I didn't say there isn't. I don't think it's that much more.
Through the chair, I just want to point out what I said was incorrect. This is actually right here, 38 Contour Conservancy District boundary. I was pointing to the wrong one. It's this right here. And that goes right along. Here's the granite marker. Here's the other granite marker. So if this plan is approved, no work is going on back here. And if any work does go on, we would, be able to issue enforcement if we are aware of it. I think that's really my only concern about this. I mean, of course, there's neighbors, and I think we should definitely let the neighbors speak. My biggest concern is that we're going to have possibly 4 families using this as their backyard. So things could get a little messy.
A bit of a fence. We could also add a fence rather than simply the granite posts. We'll put the granite posts and a fence if that makes the commission feel better, safer.
The fence just blocks out.
Yeah, I like the idea of a fence there. Also could prevent trash from being blown into the river.
I agree with that one. I don't see anybody from the public raising their hand. Do you, Lucia?
I'm not disappointed.
Well, you have to open it to the public. So if now is the time that you would like to open it, neighbors, if anyone would like to speak, please raise your hand and just state your name and address for the record when you are unmuted.
Again, I don't see anybody raising their hand.
Yep, there is. I just unmuted someone and they will be speaking shortly.
Okay.
Hello,
Hi.
it's Mary Beth Malia. How are you?
Good.
So my only concern here, so we're going from a one house, and then in their application, they say construction of a multifamily house, but it's not one house, it's 2 houses that they're going to subdivide and put 2 houses. So it's the extent of the build of this property is going to be a lot.
Mary Beth, did you say your address for the record?
Oh, yep, 27 Parsons Street.
Sorry to interrupt.
Nope, that's okay. So you are going from one single family household, and now you're putting, and in their application or what it says is construction of a multifamily house. Well, this is 2 multifamily houses, number 1. Number 2, it is a big difference from going from 1 unit house to this size portion. And I'm very concerned with that. And they're going to be elevating the property too, or filling it in, or am I wrong?
Wrong.
Wrong, okay. So we were weren't we putting a wall in before or no?
Took it out.
Is that changed?
Yes.
It's a retaining wall, right?
A retaining wall, so
There was a retaining wall going all the way across Newman here on this side.
but isn't the retaining wall in order to build it up a little and
Right there. Do you want me to answer this?
Top of wall.
Yeah.
Yes, there is a wall. Top of wall is shown at 44. The bottom of the wall is 40 elevation, right smack in the middle of our plan.
But Jack, explain to her why the retaining wall needs to be installed.
I'll do it.
Yeah, Mr. Miller will do that.
Good evening. For the record, Chris Mello, Eastern Land Survey. Initially, when we had 2 dwellings the same side, we had a 4-foot retaining wall running left to right on the project. And that was to hold the earth up to keep it level with the back deck. We've eliminated that on the right-hand side, and the grade just naturally goes down. On the left-hand side, We're bringing in a little bit of material to hold that deck. Essentially, we're using the existing grades. There's no change in borrow or fill. If anything, a little material might come out because of the excavation, but it's very similar.
So do you understand that, Mary Beth? From the street, if you're on the street, going back on the left side, the retaining wall will be there and be installed to retain the ground so that there's a significant change from the grade from an area just from near the deck to the back towards the wetlands.
Okay. So would that cause hypothetical, or I don't know if it's hypothetical, but what if that causes flooding on the street, which the streets never had?
Through the chair, that it's still lower than the street.
Okay. So it's still good. All right.
Everything grades from Parsons to the brook. Nothing changes on the drainage patterns.
And then how many floors are these dwellings going to be?
2.
2. So the garage is 1 floor and then 1 floor above the garage?
2 floors above the garage.
2 floors.
Correct.
So technically 3 because these are these are garage
But
under.
they cannot exceed 35 feet high.
35 feet high.
That's the zoning.
Through the chair,
Go ahead, Bruce.
Chris, what is the actual, I know there's 2 houses now, but since the driveways are underneath, the garages are underneath, and it's not a big, what's the actual increase in impervious surface?
I'm going to do a quick look at it. 1,000. It looks like there could be 1,400 square feet there now, and there'll probably be 1,900 square feet without calculating. So maybe 20-30%.
Okay, that's what I was wondering. It didn't sound. It's not, again, that's.
No, and we're adding.
By eye, it doesn't look, I understand they put 2 dwellings, but I don't think it's. It's not increasing the impervious surface by double.
We're providing stone infiltration trenches on the sides of the proposed dwellings to mitigate some of that.
So my next question too, on the conservation part of the property, there's not supposed to be any activity in there at all, correct?
No, it's regulated activity, right?
Meaning?
Well, I think you directed that to the commission, did you not?
Whoever would like to answer it, I guess. So we're gonna put a fence up, but you're gonna put a gate, you're gonna drag grassings, I don't know. You're gonna let kids play back
Whatever
there.
activity is proposed in a protected area is what is the subject of tonight and always the subject of a notice of intent. Here's what I intend to do, where I intend to do it, and these are the preventative measures I'm going to provide, and that's what brings us together.
So my wish for the commission is, why not just go to a 2-family house? Tear down the one that's there and just build 1 unit, 2 families.
Because they can maximize the lot to
Right.
subdivide it and maximize it as much as they can
I know,
under the current zoning.
Correct.
that's what they're doing. Yep.
Through the chair, but the commission, just to play devil's advocate, the commission doesn't have to, allow that. There are some criteria for redevelopment in the riverfront. And maybe Chris could go through that. Number 1, they have to show that they're making the site better. What are they doing that's making the site better. That can either be like through infiltration, maybe they can consider the no disturb zone, and allowing that to grow back, natural. So to answer Mary Beth's question, that, that would mean we don't want people going in there raking and, like raking it up and, putting pop-up tents and partying back there. Like, can someone throw a chair down and sit back there by the river? I wouldn't see a problem with that. But the whole point is we don't want anyone to go back there and tidy it up, except if it's, for health reasons, like if we think like there's rats back there and we got to clean it up, for like the guy next door who had a massive pile of garbage and tree debris. I do want to say there are other people in the audience though, so I don't want to take away from Mary Beth's time. But there is some criteria redevelopment for a single family house and riverfront. I did send you guys the the checklist for that, where you can compare and contrast. Should be on the OneDrive. And my old comments, like some comments from a few meetings ago, I think I shared with you guys. But my main thing was pulling these granite posts up, and I love the idea of a post and rail fence, but I would want both. I would want the post and then the post and rail fence behind.
You got it.
So I apologize, Mary Beth, if you want to carry on.
No, I'll let the other neighbors talk too. And then I might come in again, so.
All right, I could also promote you to a panelist if you want to be able to, it's up to you. I don't know if everyone, I might promote the next person to a panelist. I'm not sure. I'll see how it goes. Hold on. Mr. Pereira, you should be able to unmute yourself. Just your name, address, for the record, please.
Eddie Pereira, owner of 23 Parsons Street in Peabody. My concern with that whole project, I mean, as you look next door, it's a mess. And I would see the same thing on the other side, that it's going to be a mess. The other side is all overgrown. They've never trimmed the trees, nothing. There's all kinds of rats down there as it is. With them, moving earth and everything else on that, it's just going to bring even more rats that they're going to disperse. And, it's all over the property, the rats. And I mean, I know they're trying to maximize the what they have there to put two houses there, but I mean it's an overkill for two houses to be there, and there's bad parking as it is on that street. It's a dead end street. Just adding 4 more families, it's going to be crazy in that neighborhood.
If I can comment on the rats, I believe Lucia can help me out, but I did question the idea of, or the concept of, when you start digging, the rats will start moving. And I believe there's a law that says that the developer has to hire a licensed exterminator and get them to sign off on a document saying that they have gotten rid of the rats before construction or destruction can take place. Is that the way it was, Lucia?
Board of Health, when you apply for a building permit, the Board of Health always requires infestation program.
Okay, so there is a law that says that you have to get rid of the rats before you start building.
Well, through the chair, it doesn't say they have to get rid of the rats. It says they have to have an integrated pest management plan, which is like basically baiting, putting some baits out, which gets a little tricky along the river. I just want to go back though. So one of the criteria you guys asked, the criteria of riverfront redevelopment is, so this is the 100 riparian, or the 100, the inner 100, which it is not, it's not labeled on here, but it is labeled on this plan. This is the, or I thought it was labeled. Isn't this the inner? Wait, it's labeled. Yes, right here, 100 foot from river. So let's see if it's 100 feet from river right here. So they do have, they are encroaching closer to the river, and that's what the regs say, is that you cannot encroach closer to the river than what was already. So that's, again, up to you guys to interpret and review these plans. And if you think that this right here, well, there's also, this is in it and this. So I don't know if Chris has like comparison of the removal of the pool, because they would get, that would be factored in this portion of the deck. I feel like, I don't know if it's exactly the same. I don't know if Chris thought about that when he was doing this plan.
Chris would like to respond to that, and we did. It's in the notice of intent, and there's a riverfront alteration in the 100-foot, 200-foot, and there's computations in there to that effect. And we feel that we've met the performance standards.
But wasn't that in the original notice of intent?
Yes.
Yes,
So this is revised though.
the impact is lessened because the house is smaller.
To the left.
But the computations we have aren't the same then, because what you submitted with the NOI, you didn't submit that separately.
I did not revise those numbers because the project lessened, the building got smaller, so that the impact into the riverfront was lessened. So there was no need to prove it a negative.
Can we give them those?
Right.
If they ask for them.
Is there anyone else in the public that would wish to speak now? I am promoting Counselor Peter McGinn to panelist. If he doesn't come as panelist, I will unmute him. So just hang tight.
Good evening. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Hi, I'm Pete McGinn, Ward 2 Counselor. I watched the April Conservation Commission meeting where this item was first on the agenda, and I attended was invited to attend the site visit with the commission on April 14th. I also watched the May meeting where as Attorney Kelty mentioned, the revised plans hadn't been properly received, which I guess brings us to tonight. I've heard concerns from the neighbors at that April meeting, at the site meeting, and again tonight around density and rodents. And I certainly understand that not all of these come under the jurisdiction of the Conservation Commission. You know, I know this kind of, there's some zoning issues here, and that's not under your purview per se. I would say that it did sound to me like Commissioner Rizzo had some rationale. He mentioned both at the April meeting and at the site visit as to why the density of this plan might not be permissible from a Conservation Commission perspective. Unfortunately, he's not here tonight. But again, I think that the neighbors have some legitimate concerns, and to the extent there might be a means by which the commission does have some jurisdiction over this. And I think Lucia, you may have just alluded to the term I heard him use about the Empyrean area. I don't know if the revised plan, because it wasn't discussed at the May meeting, where the second proposed dwelling is slightly smaller, if that would satisfy what Commissioner Rizzo was alluding to, but you know, my simple ask would be to hopefully have this matter, you know, continued to a point where Councilor Rizzo could read the minutes from this meeting and satisfy that whatever he needs to do under the Mullen Rule to participate going forward, and to be on record with whether or not his earlier concerns had been addressed. And I thank you for your time.
Thank you, Counselor. Do we have a motion to continue to the next meeting till Mike Rizzo can be here?
I would like to take more time just for understanding the project a little bit more and understanding, maybe prepare a draft decision as well, kind of ideas. But I would also like to propose to continue for further study of the project.
Do I hear a second?
Second.
All right, that motion was to continue to the July 30th meeting, was made by Mr. Vivaldi, seconded by Ms. Harrop. Roll call, Chairman Lazaris,
Yes.
Secretary Vivaldi,
Yes.
Commissioner Comack,
Yes.
Commissioner Athos,
Yes.
and Commissioner Harrop.
Yes.
All right, so the item is continued 5-0.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you. Next item is request for determination of applicability and RDA. Continue public hearing for RDA submitted by Joseph Vieira. Owner applicant. The proposed project is after the fact filing, bringing in fill and altering the rear of the property. Cleanup will be conducted under a friendly enforcement order issued by the commission. Property is known as 154 Gooddale Street, map 25, lot 64. Can we discuss this with item 8 when it shows up on the agenda? Anybody have any objection to that? Okay.
No objection.
Hearing none, thank you. Moving on. Item 3, public hearing and request for determination of applicability.
Well, I think we should get them to discuss them together. Like, we take number 8 out of order and get this off our agenda.
Okay.
Mr. Vieira's already, he's already unmuted. He's ready to go. I can give you
That's a
guys
good
like,
point, Liz. Lucia, I
I
agree.
mean, do you guys mind? I just,
I don't mind.
Lucia, I don't mind. I just want to comment that it's actually item number 9, I believe.
oh, sorry about that.
It is number 9.
Oops.
Yeah, it's number 9. And I'll read
Just
it
for
now.
the minutes.
Oh, yes, thank you. I appreciate that.
Item 9, continued enforcement order issued to Joseph and Donna Vieira. Property address is 154 Gooddale Street, map 25, lot 64. The alleged work involves 1 alleged possible alteration to the buffer zone of intermittent stream and buffer zone to the BVW, adding truckloads of fill to change the grade, performing grading and alterations and stockpiling various items such as construction debris, gravel piles, concrete blocks, ladders, wood, tarps, trash barrels, sawhorses, and a storage container. RDA has been submitted and is on the agenda as item 4.
Item 2.
2.
All the numbers are not matching up.
It says, yeah, it does say 4, but it is 2. Thank you. Mr. Vieira is here.
Yes,
State your name and address for the record, please.
Joseph Vieira, 154 Goodale Street, Peabody, Mass.
This was under a friendly enforcement order, and there were things you were going to do from our last visit.
Yes.
Care to comment on where we are?
Right now, I got the loom delivered. It's all spread. And I got it hydro-seeded Friday, and I've been watering it. Everything's completely gone that you asked me to get rid of and do.
Okay. Anybody in the commission have any questions? The only question I have is, when we were on a site visit, it appeared that you may have filled beyond your property line and back. Has that been resolved?
Well, one of the commissioners that were there wanted me to slope the dirt back on an angle, which I had that done, and then I put the barrier down at the bottom of the land. I went like 50 feet around the back, so no erosion, nothing would get down there. I sent pictures to Lucia.
Okay.
Yep, through the chair, all those pictures are on the OneDrive. So I think at the last meeting, and on the site visit, the three officers were at the site visit, and I think we all agreed and we wanted to bring this at the last meeting, but Mr. Vieira wasn't there, so we didn't want to have a discussion without him present, was that he withdraw the RDA. It sounds like he's done all the work at this point. We were going to amend the enforcement order, but he, I think he misunderstood us at that site visit, and he's done the work. So the pictures are on there. So my suggestion, and this is only a suggestion, it was after the site visit with you guys on the site and Mr. Vieira, that if Mr. Vieira is okay with this, that you guys withdraw the request for determination of applicability, and we continue to work under the enforcement order to bring it back into compliance. And I can go out there and, I don't know, like maybe continue this to September, and I can go out and see what, if like the grass has grown in, what it looks like. I mean, I can go out earlier, make sure he did what he said, that he pulled back that area. Joe, correct? You did what what the officer asked, to pull it back a little bit, stabilize it, and then the loam and seed. So I can certainly go out there and make sure he did that. How was the slope stabilized though? I'm just concerned that by pulling it back, now we might still have some fresh soil on that slope there.
It's completely solid, but I also cleaned around all the trees. Remember how you wanted me to pull the dirt away from the trees? I did that. I had the guy, my neighbor next door came over with the machine and finally helped. So he sloped it. He cleaned around the trees, and I mean, I don't know. I said if pictures.
Yeah. So, Mr. Vieira, are you okay withdrawing the RDA and that we continue to do this work under the it's a friendly enforcement order at this point, I would think. And then the trespass issue, like him doing work on someone else's property, that's, you know, the owner of the property came to the meeting. They have not been to a meeting since. So at this point, that is a civil matter. It's between Mr. Vieira and the property owner. However, they want to figure that out. Right now, it's a tiny portion of riverfront and buffer zone alteration that probably would have been allowed if he filed an RDA or an NOI with you guys. So I would just suggest that well, first we got to open it to members of the public, see if anyone wants to speak. And then we would, I would suggest that you guys, with the permission of the property owner, that that a motion is made to withdraw the RDA and continue to work with Mr. Vieira under the enforcement order.
Okay, let's open this to the public. Anybody wishing to speak, state your name and address for the record. I don't see any hands raised. Do you, Lucia?
I do not.
Okay. Do we get a motion to, I guess, withdraw the RDA?
Close the public hearing first.
I'm sorry?
We have to close the public hearing first. Do we have to close the public hearing before we?
Not if you're withdrawing the RDA, because I don't believe so. I mean, if Jack's still on, maybe he could answer that for us, but because we're technically withdrawing it, it's withdrawn, it's gone, so you guys aren't gonna make any, we already have an enforcement order, so I think, I don't think you need to. If you want to, for good measure, we can, but I don't think we need to.
I agree with Lucia. It's not, you're not voting on the matter, and if we don't vote on it, then you don't have to close it.
So I would move to remove the request for determination of applicability with the permission of Joseph Vera for 154 Goodale Street, and continue the activities there under a friendly enforcement order.
And I request that the agent visit the property to kind of review, make what's the word, a quick review of the property to see if it's in satisfactory manner.
Okay, do I hear a second?
I second.
Roll
All right,
call.
so, that motion was made to withdraw, well, Joe, you want to withdraw the RDA, correct?
What does that mean? No more.
That we're no longer working under the RDA, the request for determination of applicability. We're working under the enforcement order now.
I don't know what I'm supposed to say.
Well, it sounds like you're not gonna, like, it sounds like the 3 chairman officers did not want to continue on, like, they don't want to allow any further work. They asked you to actually do work that you're already working under the enforcement order. When you pulled when you had machines back there, you were working under the enforcement order because technically you don't have a permit to do anything you did.
Right.
So, they can either vote. I mean, the other option is, I mean, they already made that. I thought it sounded like when we were having the discussion that you were in harmony with that, but maybe we all misunderstood.
No.
The other avenue would be they can issue a positive determination and say what you're doing, like they're not going to allow you to go forward to do the work. So
the only thing I feel like I have left to do is just to maintain the grass and just keep whatever's around the trees, keep that clean. I'm not going to do anything. Once the grass is starting to grow, I mean, I have no use to be back there. As long as I did everything you wanted me to do. I mean, I can take pictures again, closer pictures, and
well, I'm gonna come back out to the site, Mr. Vieira.
Okay.
That was the motion. So the motion right now is to withdraw, to allow or to approve the withdrawal of the RDA, but really the withdrawal request has to come from the property owner. So you have to be in agreement for that to happen. And
Okay.
then the motion continues on saying that to continue work under the enforcement order with the agent visiting the property to do a review. So I'm fine working with you as long as I don't think you need the RDA. I think that was one of the action items like months ago. And then now that the commission officers were on the site, they don't feel that the RDA is necessary and they wanted the work done in a faster timeline than when a determination of applicability could be granted. So that's the preference of the commission, I believe. If I'm wrong, please speak up, other members who weren't there.
Mr. Vieira have to pay for the RDA to file the RDA? Is there a fee?
There is. I mean, if he wants, he can request, he can put a request in to get the fee back. And he can also file another RDA or an NOI in the future. So the withdrawal isn't, if he does want to file a future RDA, we could waive the fee possibly with the permission of the chairman and the mayor. That's the only way fees can get waived. But Joe, do you want me to carry on with this motion, or do you want to keep the RDA open and roll the dice and see how they vote on the RDA?
Oh boy. Um, whatever you people think I should do, I don't know. Do you think that I should continue it? I don't know. Does that mean I still have to do more work out there? Or just have you people?
No, I mean, basically the motion that they just said is, me and you are gonna continue to work together. I'm gonna come out there, check out the trees, check out the grass, check out that you pulled the slope back, check out that the slope is stabilized. And if anything needs to happen further to the slope, I would amend that enforcement order, and all work would be done under an amended enforcement order.
Okay, that I agree to that.
Anything different of what you've already done, I think you're fine. I think that I'm gonna come out there and I think it's gonna be good. I do think we need to continue the enforcement order, though. I don't think it should come off the agenda. So I would continue it to the September hearing.
Okay.
And then I could have, if everything looks great, then Mr. Vieira doesn't need to come. I can just post some pictures.
Okay, I agree to that. That's fine.
All right. I mean, Joe, if you want me to try, you wouldn't be the first person I would reimburse, a fee for. So if that's a route that you want, please send me an email and I will contact the treasurer and the mayor. Again, that it's up to Stuart as well, and the commission if you guys feel that you want to reimburse him, but do remember we also could have fined him $300 every single day. So I mean, he kind of got a deal on, I think it was only like $150 that he paid for the RDA fee. So almost like a wash, in my opinion.
Until tomorrow when I go give the lawyer $5,000 because she filed for divorce, but that's okay. That's only the beginning of $5,000.
All right. I have no problem in reimbursing him the $150 at this point.
I don't need the money as long as your people are happy.
All right. Well, I'm going to finish with this. The reimbursement, that's something separate that Joe's going to have to do on his own, like not in the meeting. It would be something that he's going to have to request because he filed the RDA because of an enforcement action. But anyway, I'm going to carry on with this roll call then, Mr. Vieira. Do you want me to read it again? It was a motion to withdraw the RDA application with your permission, continue doing work as stated under the existing enforcement order, come back to the September meeting, or to be rediscussed at the September meeting, and then the agent will visit the property and report back to the commission. That was made by Mr. Athos and seconded by Ms. Harrop.
Yep. Okay.
You're comfortable with that?
Yes.
All right. I'm going to go ahead and do a roll call then. Chairman Lazaris.
Yes.
Secretary Vivaldi.
Yes.
Commissioner Comack.
Yes.
Commissioner Athos.
Yes.
And Commissioner Harrop.
You're muted.
You lost your sound, Jamie.
No, she's muted.
All right. So,
There we go.
No, there-
Sorry, my mouse isn't working, but yes.
All right, so that passes 5-0. So Joe, give me a call tomorrow. I thought we already discussed this on the phone. I thought you said on the phone that you were comfortable with the withdrawal of the RDA, as you've been doing work with under the enforcement order. So I just thought that you were okay with it. I do think this is the simplest thing. I think it's the best thing for you.
Okay.
Just
Okay.
Okay.
I agree.
Thank you. Thank you, Joe.
Thank you. Sorry for the inconvenience.
But
Item 3. Public hearing and request for termination of applicability submitted by Markian, I can't remember how do you pronounce that, and Associates LP, Craig Marchiadana, and for Phil Franciosa. The applicant, the property owner is Wesley Merrill and KN Stabile. The proposed project consists of preparing the site to construct single-family house The dwelling will be located outside the 100-foot buffer zone. However, there is a tree removal and or creation of lawn area within a buffer zone. Property is known as 48 Pulaski Street, map 53, lot 43, Peabody, Mass. The first meeting date is today. Lucia, you have information you wish to share?
I promoted the consultant.
Okay.
All the pictures are on the OneDrive.
Okay, and they were great pictures. Go ahead, Craig. You have to unmute yourself. State your name and address, please.
Sure. Good morning, Craig Marchand, or good evening, Craig Marchanda with Marchanda and Associates, 62 Montvale Ave, Stoneham, Massachusetts. We're the engineers and land surveyors representing the applicant here at 48 Pulaski Street. He's currently proposing a single-family dwelling, which the dwelling itself is just outside of the 100-foot buffer zone. A small portion of the deck, as well as some tree clearing and creation of lawn area, will be within the 100-foot buffer zone. And we're also proposing a post and rail fence at the rear of the lawn area to separate the lawn area from the untouched areas between us and the wetland. So we're here seeking, hoping for a negative determination on our RDA. I don't have much to say. I'm happy to answer any questions you guys may have.
Yep. Through the chair, there's someone raising their hand named Samantha. Is that the potential property person who's going to purchase the property? I just don't want to promote someone who is an audience member until, we're ready to have public comment.
I'm getting a text right now. Let me see. He says, the applicant says yes. They're under Samantha's name. Yeah.
All right. And you might want to share the plan so that the commission and that the audience, you have capabilities. You should have capabilities to share your screen now, just so that everyone can see what's happening. And I'm going to go ahead and promote them. So hang tight.
Okay. Thank you.
Hi there.
Hi.
Can you state your name and address for the record, please?
Yes, sir. My name is Phil Franciosa, currently resident at 225 Lower College Street, Seabrook, New Hampshire. And
my name is Samantha Claveau. I'm currently a resident, 115 Leach Street in Salem, Massachusetts.
And yeah, just to explain who we are. We just got recently engaged, and we're buying this property to put a single family home there and move in together. So just figured we'd explain who we are and what we're doing with the property, and just open it up to everyone else.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Much appreciated.
Don't do it.
Please, not in front of her. No, just kidding.
So if there's no other questions, I could try to share the plan now, if that's helpful.
Thank you.
Sure. Let me see. Don't normally do it this way. I normally do this from my office, but let's see. All these privacy settings. May not be able to record. It isn't happy about this for some reason. Let me see if I can share it differently. See if this works. I think you can see it now.
You can see it now.
All right, perfect. Thank you for your patience as I figure this out. New computers don't help either. So I'm going to try to move this panel out of the way. So as you can see, plan left, I'll just keep it simple, is the BVW, which was flagged by Seacamp Environmental at the very end of April. Plan right is Pulaski Street. And as you can see, we're proposing this single family dwelling right here in the thick black line that's, as I mentioned, just beyond the 100-foot buffer zone, with a portion of the deck here. It was within 100-foot buffer zone, as well as some limited tree clearing and the creation of a lawn area to give the home a backyard. And at the edge of the backyard, right here along the erosion control line, We're proposing a post and rail fence. Make it a little bigger here if that helps. And if, for what it's worth, most of the trees being removed have been identified as invasive species, predominantly Norway maples and various other invasives. So as it stands now, we're looking for a little bit of relief here to have part of the deck and lawn area and tree clearing within the buffer zone. And I could say the nearest portion of our proposed limit of our work is about roughly 71 feet from the nearest portion of the BVW. So we're near the outer edge of the buffer zone.
What, may I ask why you have the house as a solid line, but then the deck is like a faint line?
No particular reason. We typically draw the foundation as darker. The deck will be a traditional deck, no foundation. And if I drafted the deck in real dark heavy, it might obscure the trees and what have you in the area.
Mm-hmm.
But we labeled the deck. It's a 10 by 12. Nothing huge.
On like those what are they, sonotubes or something like that?
Most likely, that's typically what I see.
Is there any plan for a pool in the future?
I can tell you there's no plan at this time. I can't speak to the forever plan, but I don't see one. Certainly, if there is one that's inside the buffer zone, they'll be back in front of you folks for that.
Yep, and I could speak to that. We don't really have any future plans of a pool or anything, just a nice little backyard area.
It would be good to kind of, it doesn't have to be in stone, but it'd be good to verify that kind of now so that we can understand the situation in its entirety.
Mm-hmm.
And so it looks like it's a flat lot. It's fairly flat, right, Mr.
Yes.
Craig?
It is, yeah.
And so the homeowners would understand that they have this big piece of property that is largely is theirs to use for walking and such, but not for building in other parts of there. It was a fairly large lot. Is it like a couple acres or?
It is. I don't know if I have the size in front of me because honestly, I only am really concerned with this front portion. It's a few acres, I believe. I don't have it on this particular plan.
The city has it as 1.5 acres. That sounds about right.
I have it somewhere. I know that much. I have different plans in different areas, but it's a decent sized parcel.
Yeah.
The wetlands in the middle of it, there's area upland on either side, but we're only dealing with this portion for the developable site.
Right.
It looks like about, per this plan I have, which may not be the latest and greatest, maybe 70,000 square feet-ish.
About 1.5 acres, 2 acres. And so the driveway, house, deck, and erosion controls while you're constructing that property?
Yes, we have erosion control along the rear property line just behind the post and rail fence by my cursor here. And then we take a turn along the side property line up past beyond the extent of the buffer zone. And that's going uphill, so I'm not concerned about sediment traveling around it.
Are you aware of any dewatering if you run into, it's not, it may be closer to the wetlands, but in this case, if the foundation you're digging and you run into a pool of water, you understand what needs to be done for have a plan for dewatering if necessary?
Yes, yeah, we'll take care of that if needed. I don't currently really anticipate it. I'm not really
Okay.
sure. There's a bit of a grade drop back to the wetland. So,
It's on sewer, so you don't need to do any test pits most.
right, it's on sewer, public water.
So no test pits have been taken, no test holes.
No.
Anybody else have any questions? Do we open this to the public?
Yes, please do.
All right, anybody in the public wish to speak, raise their hand. I don't see anybody. Do you, Lucia?
I do not.
I would close the public hearing and ask for a motion.
Move to close the public hearing.
Second.
All right, that
Roll call.
motion to close was made by Mr. Athos, seconded by Mr. Comac. Roll call, Chairman Lazaris,
Yes.
Secretary Vivaldi,
Yes.
Commissioner Comac,
Yes.
Commissioner Athos,
Yes.
and Commissioner Harrop.
Yes.
All right, the item is closed 5-0.
Great.
Okay.
Thank you very much.
Through the chair, I would say if you guys are going to, I'm hoping that you're going to issue a negative determination with conditions. And one of the conditions, I think the only one that really matters is erosion controls are inspected before work, and possibly that you might also want to condition it that an as-built, so that we can make sure that the post and rail fence is where it's said to be. That's sort of hard with a determination to get them to come back, but you can try to condition it that way. And then, I mean, you mentioned dewatering. So if you wanted to put a condition that if dewatering was necessary, that before any dewatering took place, they would have to submit, a dewatering detail to the commission before they do that work, like where they're going to be dewatering.
Do I hear a motion?
Well, that's those were just my thoughts. That's up to the board to discuss if you guys think all of those things are necessary.
Oh. Anybody have a comment?
None.
Those are all good points. I think they should be taken into consideration. And
You want to make a motion, Mike?
I'll make a negative determination for this property at 48 Pulaski that normal conditions for a single family home on a lot like this would be considered, that if dewatering is water is found for the digging of the foundation, that the developer and property owner submit a plan for dewatering to the agent. Also, the post and rail fence needs to be replaced since it's a wooden. I would like the property owner to understand that there needs to be replaced if at times if it gets to be too old and falling apart, wood rots. But the post and rail is there to be permanent identification of wetland is beyond that post and rail identification, and not to be construction behind that line. So the property owner should understand that post and rail should be replaced if necessary. And anything else, Lucia? I forget if I missed anything.
So that could be that a condition that the post and rail fence is in perpetuity, has to remain in perpetuity. The conditions that I mentioned were that the erosion controls should be inspected before work commences, a dewatering detail submitted, before dewatering if necessary.
Yes.
You mentioned the post and rail fence in perpetuity, and then I think it would be important to get an as-built plan after, just so that we can confirm that they did in fact stay into the parameters of what we agreed to. And then that would have the post and rail fence that says in perpetuity. And then that way, the new owners who, this is probably going to be their forever home, so that way they have that plan and they know, you know, where they can and can't go back unless they file a new permit with us.
I agree with all that.
So I mean, the fence would be in perpetuity, you know, until they file, if and when, if they ever wanted to, say, put a pool back there, and then they would of course have to come back in front of you guys. So is that the motion? Those I think it was four bullets that I said. Was that your motion?
Yes.
Do we hear a second?
Second.
Second by Jamie.
Yep. Did
roll
someone want to
call.
speak though? I heard someone about to speak and I just don't want, I want if anyone wants to speak.
Bruce was gonna second it. They beat him.
Okay, so you just went a little faster. Okay, so that motion with those four conditions was made by Mr. Vivaldi, seconded by Miss Harrop, Mrs. Harrop, excuse me. Roll call, Chairman Lazaris,
Yes.
Secretary Vivaldi,
Yes.
Commissioner Comack,
Yes.
Commissioner Athos,
Yes.
and Commissioner Harrop.
Yes.
Thank you very much and good luck.
Thank you guys very
Hopefully
much.
appreciate it.
Yeah, we look forward
Okay.
to living in Peabody. Thank you.
And we look forward to having you.
Much appreciated.
Item 4, public hearing on request for termination of applicability submitted by Engineering Alliance Inc. Rick Salvo for Group 1 Automotive. The applicant property owner is John Zillow, I think. Proposed project consists of a single-story addition, 26 by 90, to the rear of existing buildings, slab on grade, on top of an existing parking area property is known as 252 Andover Street, map 39, lot 25C in Peabody, Mass. And tonight is the first meeting date, 6/11. Did anybody have a comment? Or Rick, do you want to start? Do you want to tell us what you have intended here?
Could I begin? John Kelty, attorney, 40 Lowell Street, Peabody, Mass. Here with Rick Salvo from Engineering Alliance. An issue arose this afternoon with respect to our notice. There are two lots actually shown on this plan, one being 25C and the other being lot 25, both on map 39. We gave notice to lot 25C abutters, which is the map that is the assessor's information that is closest to the building and closest to 114. Had we provided notice for the other lot 25, we would have picked up somewhere between 5 and 6 more people. Apparently, those people gave notice to or provided information from to Lucia and Julie Daigle that they did not receive notices. I am of the opinion that there is no comment this evening from our Public Services Department. And as such, I would not open the hearing unless the chair would prefer that to be the case. And we will advertise again in the newspaper, and we will advertise by mailing notices to the additional 6 parties. This matter could be continued until your July 30th meeting.
Do I hear a motion to continue to July?
Move to continue.
Thank you, Arthur. Second, please.
Second.
Thank you, Bruce. Roll call.
All right, that motion to continue to the July 30th hearing. So if anyone is in the audience, this will be heard at the July 30th meeting via Zoom again. So just to reiterate what Attorney Kelty stated, a few people were left off of the original abutters list. So those new people are going to get a notice sent out. The people who've already been notified are not getting re-notified. They already received their notice in the mail, and a new legal ad stating both of the lots is going to go out. So I just want everyone in the audience to understand that if you already received one, you're not getting another one. It's just going to be the people that were missing. So I'm going to carry on with the roll call, though. I apologize. So that was made to continue till July 30th, made by Mr. Athis, seconded by Mr. Comack. Roll call. Chairman Lazaris.
Yes.
Secretary Vivaldi. Secretary Vivaldi. I had to mute you, Mike. Sorry.
Yes. Unmute yourself. Thank you.
Commissioner Comack.
Yes.
Commissioner Athis.
Yes.
And Commissioner Harrop.
Yes.
All right, so actually, I guess we didn't need to even make that motion. I don't know why we just did that. Actually, we didn't even need to make that because we never opened the item. So there really is no continuance. Just everyone in the audience know that this is continued till July 30th while we figure out the legalities.
Okay. Item 5. Certificate of compliance. The continued request for a full certificate of compliance is made by Williams and Sparagus, Chris Sparagus, on DEP file number 55934. The project was the construction of a single-family home. The address is formerly known as 0 Pearl Street, now known as 18 Pearl Street, map 105, lot 85, Peabody, Mass. Order of conditions was issued on 2/28/24. This is the first meeting was 1/8/25. I don't know who wants to speak on this.
Good evening, Mr. Chair. For the record, Engineer Chris Sparagus here for the applicant. Just wanted to give the commission a quick update. As you know, we are our discussions continue. That is our discussions. Our office represents the DiBiase company, and their attorney, the DiBiase's attorney, and the property owner's attorney, Mr. Barrasso, are in discussions. And I'm here to report to you.
I had a talk later with. I'm sorry. I had a talk later with the.
I think Jack needs to mute himself.
They were like, "Oh, well, if you."
All right, good. Let me continue. So I'm here to report to the commission this evening that we have a meeting agreed in principle, and that we're requesting a continuance to your July meeting, where we hope that something can be presented that will be mutually acceptable to both the new property owner, Mr. Barrasso, and the DiBiase companies. So I don't want to waste any of the commission's time, but discussions continue, and we're hoping to get together next week. So with your permission, Mr. Chair, I'd like to continue this matter to your July meeting.
Do I hear a motion?
I make a motion to continue the project at 0 Pearl Street or 18 Pearl Street to July 30th, 2025.
Second. Roll call.
Well, before I make that roll call, the attorney for the property owner has his hand raised, and I believe he would like to speak.
Okay.
Thank you, Lucia. Mr. Chairman, Attorney Robert Peterson here representing Mr. Barrasso relative to this property. I I agree with what Mr. Sparagus has put on the record here this evening. We are in continuing discussions with the developer relative to how to best address the current situation on the site. However, I have had discussions with Lucia over the past months, and I just want to ensure that the commission is brought up to speed with what we kind of have going on and kind of the 3 points that Mr. Barrasso is trying to get addressed here. And again, it is our hope that we continue to address these with the DiBiase companies and come to a mutually agreeable resolution. Relative to what we're kind of looking at, as you are aware, back in 2023, I think this was approved, it might have been 24, I believe it was 23. There was an originally approved plan on this site which showed some riprap sloping, a retaining wall, and some grading in the back. And when my client purchased this property, he was reliant on those and the order of conditions as issued by this commission as to what he would be getting. Since there has been some issues since he bought the property. Obviously, we've made aware of those since our January meeting here. There continues to be, although there is some disagreement as to how to best address this, the discussions with Mr. Sparagus by and through our engineer, who we have brought on, Mr. Ben Minix of Eagle Brook Engineering, have been cordial, and we are moving forward to getting, hopefully finding something that's mutually agreeable again, which will both deliver something that this commission can sign off on and issue a certificate of compliance with, and will comport with what was kind of on the plans and expected to be delivered to Mr. Barrasso when he purchased the property, and not something that would be resulting in a detrimental reliance on a plan that shows something on the ground that wasn't what he purchased. So I just want to give the commission the quick update of what we're kind of working through, so it's not a shock when we come back to the meeting in July. There was, as you are aware, there was a retaining wall set to be established on this site, which would have been about 6 feet off of the driveway. Through the building process, the developer, and this isn't under, we agree with what happened here. They actually changed the elevations of the house to meet where the elevation of the lower end of the slope would go. So it is the developer's contention that because that was done, that there need not be that retaining wall put in there. We still would like to meet them on site to show kind of what's going on and the rate of runoff coming off that slope and what was installed, the loaming and seeding. It may not be sufficient to guard against what we're seeing on site in the washout going onto the driveway. The second issue here is that there's going to have to be some resolution as to a grading plan in the backyard. Mr. Sparagus has provided a grading plan to my client, and we had it peer reviewed by our engineer, Mr. Minix of Eagle Brook Engineering. And we're hoping that we can make some either revisions to and/or come to a mutual agreement so as to ensure that the yard, as proposed again and approved by this commission when you originally issued the order of conditions, can be met, and my client can have a usable yard, which will not be disturbed too much with the contouring as provided to allow the water to run out. And then lastly, and I don't think there's any disagreement about this, there's some posts that are in the ground that need to be moved so as to properly delineate the no disturb area on site. And again, we just want to bring that to the commission's attention. And Lucia, if I just want to kind of show some pictures here, just so everybody kind of knows what's going on relative to the site. Lucia, am I able to share my screen?
Yeah, you should have capabilities, yes.
Okay, let me share this. So that's the, can you all see this as the approved plan that you guys all approved that we're kind of talking with now. So if hold on, I'm trying to scroll through photos here. It's not letting me scroll. Hold on one second.
We gotta continue this. Is this going to be repeated?
It is not going to be repeated. We just through discussions. I want to kind of everyone to make sure they know what we're kind of working through. So when we come back, we'll put it in proper context. It's not letting me share the pictures, so I'm not going to belabor the point because again, we will be back. But I just want to, and I did share this with Lucia. I shared a Dropbox folder, so you guys can all log in, and she can provide you with that to kind of show you the water that has become an issue on the site. We have some drone photos above showing where the pooling is and where the natural water recession is kind of going, and kind of put into context what we're trying to guard against in the future, which would be further erosion into the backyard. And again, come to an agreement on some sort of a plan to get this route, get the water routed to flow to its natural disposition through the backyard.
Okay. Anybody have any questions? Do I hear a motion to continue?
Do that or ready to
Well,
go?
there already was one. It was made by Mr. Vivaldi and seconded by Miss Harrop. I don't know if you guys want to make a new one or if you want me to just do the roll call on that one.
The roll call on that one is fine.
All right, so again, that motion was made to continue to the July 30th meeting by Mr. Vivaldi, seconded by Miss Harrop. Roll call, Chairman Lazares,
Yes.
Secretary Vivaldi,
Yes.
Commissioner Comack,
Yes.
Commissioner Athos,
Yes.
and Commissioner Harrop.
Yes.
All right, so that motion passes unanimously.
Thanks a lot, members. We'll see you next month.
Thank you. Number 6, item 6, a request for certificate of compliance made by Attorney John Kelty on DEP file number 55718. This was an order of resource area delineation for property known as 532 Lowell Street, map 35, lot 27 and 28. The ORAD expired on 4/23/2012 and is being requested to clear title for administrative purposes. The first meeting is tonight.
John Kelty, the applicant, on behalf of the owner of the property at 532 Lowell Street. He's in the process of, George Bello is in the process of selling this real estate, and this old ANRAD showed on his title, and strangely enough, I think Lucia and I agreed this was kind of strange that someone should seek a certificate of compliance because the wetland is where the wetland was and continues to be. But in order to clear title, we would ask for this certificate of compliance with the box checked off, work never undertaken.
Any questions?
Through the chair, if I could just speak really quickly. So it wasn't ORAD, an order of resource area delineation. So there was never any work associated with it.
Right.
Jack, there is a box somewhere. There's one. I have a copy of it, and I think it actually does say about the ORAD and the delineation.
Right. You showed that to me. Yeah, we were
if
surprised.
there is one that has that box, that should definitely be checked off. And I just want to be crystal clear that, ORADs expire after 3 years. So if like someone's coming, I think this is where the bike path is going anyway. Isn't this like the cemetery and they part of it, the property was already sold to the Muslim cemetery? And which part is this? What?
It was the wetland behind the sign that got torn down.
Behind the
But you're
sign.
right, you're in the right area.
But
You're
regardless, if they're coming before the commission again, what he said is sort of correct. The wetlands are where they are, but the lines might change. So if they're going to be a big development back there again, they're going to have to flag the wetland lines again, possibly come for an ANRAD, another ANRAD if the wetlands line changed, or it would be shown on a new NOI or whatever. So this is really for admin purposes only. They would need a new ANRAD or a new notice of intent, obviously, going forward. So I would have that in the motion. I definitely, it is a weird thing. This, I don't think anyone's ever requested one actually since 2006. You normally don't record them at the registry of deeds.
Right.
I think some people do that because they want to they want to make sure that those wetland lines are somewhere recorded, but they expire after 3 years. So really recording it doesn't do anything except clog up your title.
Anybody else?
So I'm a little bit confused. There was an ORAD. It was never, no work was ever constructed, completed. And now the
no work was ever proposed because an ORAD is not a permit. ORAD is just an order of recess area delineation. So I think Attorney Kilty misspoke when he said that.
I did.
And then, so now the status is the property's changing hands?
Yes.
And so they want to have a certificate of compliance.
For the ORAD that was filed back in 09.
Through the
09
chair.
or 12?
Through the chair.
Yeah. Bruce?
Are you telling me they're selling the Muslim cemetery?
No. George Bellows property adjacent to the entrance to the Muslim cemetery.
Is that the...
Used to be a Subway.
Okay, all right, I understand. Yep.
So in order to move this, in order to sell it, you need a certificate of compliance, even though no work was ever done. Is that correct?
Correct.
There was no work ever permitted. This is an ORAD, you guys.
Right.
That would be an order of conditions for a permit. This is just a resource. All this was wetlands flags. That's all.
Okay, so we hear a motion for a request of compliance. I'm sorry, a motion for certificate of compliance.
I'll make a motion for certificate of compliance.
Second?
Second.
I think Jamie will want.
I think so too. So the motion for a full certificate of compliance was made by Mr. Vivaldi, seconded by Mrs. Harrop. Roll call. Chairman Lazares.
Yes.
The Secretary Vivaldi.
Yes.
Commissioner Comack.
Yes.
Commissioner Athos.
Yes.
And Commissioner Harrop.
Yes.
All right, so that passes unanimously 5-0. And I just want to be crystal clear, Jack, if the property owner is listening or the potential buyer is listening, is that, they do need to have a wetland scientist come out again if they are planning on doing anything and reflag that. They can't rely on this. This is expired. And now that you're clearing this is 100% going to be gone. Like, they cannot use these wetlands lines. They do need to have someone go out again and reflag it for any future work. So I just want to be crystal clear to the future buyer.
Delineate. You should use the word delineate, not flag.
I understand. Thank you.
Are we all done with this?
I believe so, yes. Luce?
Okay.
Yeah, you guys made the motion, right?
Yep, right, yeah.
Mm.
7.
And we voted on it, yes? Moving on, enforcement orders, violation orders, item 7. Continued enforcement order issued to Salem Country Club for the following activities: removal of living trees, grinding, rubbing stumps in buffer zone in close proximity to jurisdictional resource areas and depositing wood chips in buffer zones and along local riverfront woods. The property address is known as 133 Forest Street, Peabody, Mass, and originally opened the meetings on April 13 of 2022. I believe we're going on a site visit next week, correct?
Yes, and I think everyone was in agreement, DeRosa team as well as you, Chairman Lazaris, that we were not going to have a discussion tonight. We were going to save that for the July hearing. We're going to have a super fun July hearing. And that we are having a site visit on Monday. I believe it's June 16th. It's either 8:15 or 8:30. So I don't know, keep an eye on your email. If it changes from 8 to a different time, there will be an email coming out. So please look for it. It will be tomorrow. I'm off Friday anyway. So is anyone planning on coming to that site visit?
I'd like to attend. I'd like to propose like a later, like 9 o'clock if possible.
That's not happening. We have to be off the site by
Right.
12.
Because of the golfers.
Yeah. I got an email a little bit confusing right before the meeting saying they wanted to change the time to 8:15, then 8:30, then it went back to 8. So I will figure, as of right now, as far as I know, it's 8 o'clock. So if you get there at 8, you're good.
Okay.
I mean, Mike, if we can always have someone like swing back later you can always like call me and I'll look at my phone and I'm sure Bill Rocco, he'll swing back and grab you, or we can figure it out. So is anyone else? It's just Stuart's planning to attend. I'm attending. Mike, you want to, but you probably can't do it until 9.
No, I can attend. I just was hoping to push it a little later.
All right. I think he did say 8:15. I can't, but like I just said, I'd wait until he tells me tomorrow morning definitively, and then I will send an email. I just don't want to, push it too late, because if someone, like say Mike Rizzo shows up at 8, I don't want him sitting around until 9, and we would never be able to sit around till 9 anyway, because it has to happen early because we have to be off by 12 or 12:30.
And Mike DeRosa plans to be there?
Mike DeRosa will be there at whatever time it's starting. As of right now, what I know is it's 8 o'clock.
Okay.
So keep an eye on your email, and I will, if I have your cell phone, I will text everybody. I'm not going to do a group text. I'll probably text you guys individually, but please understand it's my personal phone, and I'm only doing this just because I can't make sure everyone, read their email, and we run into that issue before. I might just try to call you guys all and leave a voicemail tomorrow before I leave work. I think that might be the route. It just would be helpful if I know who to call.
You can call me.
All right, so right now the only people here that are planning to go are Mike Vivaldi and you, Stuart, correct?
Right.
All right, so as of right now, what I know is it's 8 o'clock. So if you don't get a call from me, it's still 8 o'clock.
Okay. Moving on.
I do think you need to make a motion to continue this, though.
Okay. Do I have a motion I'll make the motion to continue this to our July meeting. There a second?
Second.
All right, that
Roll call.
motion to continue was made by Mr. Lazaris, seconded by Mrs. Harrop. Roll call, Chairman Lazaris,
Yes.
Secretary Vivaldi,
Yes.
Commissioner Comack,
Yes.
Commissioner Athis,
Yes.
and Commissioner Harrop.
Yes.
All right, so that item is continued 5-0 to the July hearing, and there will be a site visit on June 16th, either 8, 8:15, or 8:30. So if you get there at 8, you're on time.
Okay. Moving on. Minor permit requests / exemption. Minor permit 1, Railroad Ave. Proposed work is the installation of a freestanding sign.
I think you
in a-
just skipped number 8, which is an
I did?
enforcement order for 33 Pine Street.
Oh, I did, didn't I? Continued enforcement order issued to Haven Circle Cooperative Corp. John Hussey, president, for the following activities: grading of land, possible fill and grade change per the Jersey barriers noted on site, comparing topographic plans, and creating stone dust parking staging surface without filing a notice of intent. Property is known as 33 Pine Street, map 34, lot 19, Peabody, Mass. I guess I'm reading notes you put in there, but if they're not here,
I
do
just
we make a
promoted
motion?
Mr. John Hussey to a panelist.
Okay. John, take it away. State your name and address, please.
Mr. Hussey, you have to unmute yourself.
I think I found it. Hello?
Hey, you did. We can hear you.
Okay, sorry about that.
State your name and address, please.
Sure, it's John Hussey, 41 Pine Street in Peabody, Mass.
Thank you. The floor is yours.
Well, I guess this whole thing was definitely a big misunderstanding, and nothing was intended to do anything wrong. So when we had it surveyed and the surveyor put in for the NOI, I guess, or something, it's just a residential lot, and we put in some stone and everything that's there, but it's just getting way too much, or out of my range, or out of the co-op's range. So I'm just writing or asking if we can have permission to just like to explore the possibility of probably restoring the property back to its original condition that started this whole thing. And we just want to
Anybody have any
resolve
comments?
this.
Anybody have any comments?
So, no work has started. You haven't started to restore.
No, I'm just waiting to see what you recommend or want us to do. We'll put topsoil back in, throw some seed.
So
Mike Vivaldi, you're muted.
there's already an enforcement order.
Yeah, so if he's gonna do any work, you guys, there is gonna have to be an amended enforcement order. So my thought process is maybe he should, because otherwise I'm gonna be doing all this legwork, and that's really not like I'm not a consultant. So I think what should happen is that Mr. Hussey needs to go to a contractor, and they need to write a narrative of what they're planning on doing, and then I review that. With that, then I would try to come up with action items and then amend the enforcement order, and then you guys would ratify that at the whatever meeting it is that I have time beforehand to draft the amended enforcement order. So I think that would be, he really needs to hire someone. Again, I'm not his consultant. This is a conflict of interest for me to really, I can't really hold his hand on how to bring this back to compliance. I think unless you guys want to like throw in some ideas again, I think the onus should be on him to come up with a narrative of what they're planning on doing, and then the commission as a whole approves it, and then we amend the enforcement order as necessary.
I agree. Anybody else have a comment?
So The work, the general consideration, the general work was that you were grading the property.
What they did was they took the topsoil off, put some like crushed stone down, and that was what we did. What the contractor did.
For how large an area, sir? Like the size of your house, or like just a small 10 by 10?
Oh no, it's probably I don't have it in front of me, but it's probably, let me see if they say the areas.
Was it for your driveway for your?
It was just for parking.
For parking.
You guys, just so you know, this was not for a single family house. It was for an entire co-op of
a commercial lot, commercial
trailers.
property.
So
Commercial,
here is it. So it's very large. It's this they put down a block wall on someone else's property, and then this was all. There's aerials showing this either grass or wooded area. So I mean, if he wanted to continue on with the NOI, it sounds like it's too much at this point for him. But that was the reason why the NOI was incorrect, because I didn't think this mobile home was still here. So I thought this mobile home was demoed, long gone. John, is this still here?
No, the frame is still there. One of the last storms, it came down during one of the last storms. So we cleaned it up. But that is a whole separate residential lot. It's not part of the park. It's a residential.
Yeah, but it's a parking lot for a commercial purpose. I mean, it's more than 4 units that you're making this lot for. So again, that's not for me. That's really for the commission to decide.
That's why it's a lot larger than what we were even anticipated. We didn't realize any of this. And when they surveyed it, and the company was supposed to do all this, didn't do it properly, or inform us. So that's a big bad or whatever. But and we're not on. We have a easement on that property where you were just showing that we intruded on somebody. That is an easement that is awarded to the deed also. A 15-foot easement. But we'll take all that stone off, put some better soil in there. There was all kinds of debris there that we cleaned, tires and things like that. But it looked nice, but we'll take it, put topsoil in, have it seeded, dress it up nice, put some nice bushes there, something that will be good for the birds or something like that, eye appealing, something that flowers.
But I do agree with that. You have to have a specific plan to how you're going to what's the word, recuperate or repair the property to what its most natural state without, and then provide some a narrative to us to provide what your proposal is, so that we can agree to it or disagree to it.
Okay. I wouldn't be doing it. We'll get a landscaper company, and we'll have them come in there, and we'll have a written proposal of exactly what they're doing and so forth, and I can submit it and go from there.
So once it's prepared and submitted to the agent, we can put it. You can add it to the next recent agenda, next available agenda.
Okay. I appreciate that. Thank you.
Do I hear a motion to continue?
Well, hold on before you continue. I just want to make sure I understand. So are we asking him for some sort of a narrative construction sequence of how he's going to bring the property back to compliance, correct?
Yes.
Correct.
All right. So John, that would be like a bulleted number 1 bullet is put erosion controls down. And then That's the number one. I'm just giving you that little, you definitely have to put erosion controls down before you guys start doing anything. So
Okay.
I would suggest you guys continue this to September to give him some time.
Okay.
Yeah, we don't meet in August, John, so you only have one meeting to get this accomplished, and it's probably not enough time. It's definitely not enough time, so.
Okay, I'll try to get someone on the board here to help me do this. I've been doing it myself. Nobody wants to step up and just dropped on my lap. And I work myself, so I'll do my best to get it all as soon as possible. I'll get a couple of contractors down there, make sure they put in an erosion wall or
No,
whatever.
John, you don't understand. You're not getting permission to do the work.
No,
You
I've
don't
just
have
some quotes.
permission right now.
Yeah, no, just
Okay.
new quotes. So they'll tell me so I'll let you know, or the committee, to know what they're gonna do, and what steps.
All right, so you would send that to me first. You would draft that
Yes.
narrative, send that the construction sequence, send that to me for review. I wouldn't wait too long, like just because we're continuing this to September, I wouldn't wait until August 31st to start working on this. I think you really need to start working on it like tomorrow so that we can get me that paperwork fast. I have to come up with an amended enforcement order if there's any certain conditions, I think, or if we need to tweak your construction sequence. And then you can't do any work until you have that amended enforcement order with action items on it.
Understood, no problem.
All right, great. Is there a motion to continue to September?
I'll make a motion to continue this property of 33 Pine Street until our September meeting, September 2025.
Do I hear a second?
Second.
Thank you.
All right, that motion was made by Mr. Vivaldi, seconded by Mrs. Harrop. Roll call, Chairman Lazaris.
Yes.
Secretary Vivaldi.
Yes.
Commissioner Comack.
Yes.
Commissioner Athas.
Yes.
And Commissioner Harrop.
Yes.
All right, so it is continued to our September hearing, but please try to get me that stuff, John, so I know you don't want to deal with this any longer than you have to. So the faster we get this buttoned up, the faster the enforcement order will get withdrawn.
I appreciate it very much for everything. Thank you.
All right. Minor permit request exemption. Minor permit 1, Railroad Ave. Proposed work is the installation of freestanding sign in a FEMA floodplain.
John Kelty on behalf of the applicant. And we've gone to the Board of Appeals, filed that same plan that shows the location of a monopole freestanding sign 6 feet from the roadway. That area is entirely paved. This is the Little Depot Diner adjacent to the courthouse and the railroad and Bill and Bob's. We familiar with the property I'm speaking of?
Yes, I am.
Yes.
Across from Dunkin' Donuts. And as such, we're want to install, we got our variance appeal period. We're in the appeal period currently. No, I'm sorry, the appeal period was up on yesterday. And as such, we are going to record that, and we're asking that you approve the installation, which is digging a hole to put the monopole in.
Just out of curiosity, what's the sign going to say?
It's a reader board for the Depot Diner, for the diner itself.
Okay. Anybody have any comments?
Let them put it in.
No
Do we hear a
comment.
second?
That
Do
a
we hear
motion?
second? Yeah.
Was that a motion to approve the minor permit made by Mr. Comack?
Yes, it was.
All right, and there was a second by Mr. Vivaldi? Correct?
Correct.
All right, I'm gonna go ahead. So, the minor permit, and Jack, if you want to email me, I tomorrow I can, I should be able to do this like really fast tomorrow, before I leave. So that motion was made to approve the minor permit by Mr. Comac, seconded by Mr. Vivaldi. Roll call, Chairman Lazares.
Yes.
Secretary Vivaldi,
Yes.
Commissioner Comac,
Yes.
Commissioner Athas,
Yes.
and Commissioner Harrop.
Yes.
All right, so that passes 5-0.
And what is it, Lucia, you want me to email you something or just?
Yeah,
be in
if you want the minor permit before I leave tomorrow, yeah, because
Oh, yeah, that's-
I still need to like actually sign off on it, like in Open Gov. Number one, I need to sign the actual permit, scan it over to you, and then I'm assuming you need a permit from the building department, correct?
Yes.
So, and then I don't know if you guys already did. Are you even that far yet?
Applying for the building department?
Yeah, I mean, regardless, it's just I do have to issue a wetlands permit for it, and then we can go from there.
All right, I'll be
So
in
just email
contact.
me in the morning if you want it. If you can wait till next week, then next week.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay. Minor permit for 190R Newberry / Pine Street area. Proposed work is utility work, 12-inch water main install within Pine Street at the request of the city's DPS department per 310 CMR 10.022I. This work is considered minor as long as they follow regulations. Erosion controls must be installed prior to work, and trenches must be closed at the end of the day. It was approved by Concom staff on 4/28. And you're waiting, do we get an approval from DPS?
I don't think so, but I'm not sure. I haven't been, let's just put it this way, no one has notified me that erosion controls are out, and that was one of the conditions. So I am assuming no work has started. If you guys are all set with this, you just need to make a motion to accept or approve it, accept and or approve it, whatever.
So moved.
It's in this right away. The utility line will be in the right of way.
It's pretty much textbook 310 CMR 10.02 parentheses 2 little I. It's considered minor work, possibly even exempt, honestly, as long as they stay in the road, which they are definitely staying in the road, and erosion controls will be installed. And they have to be closed at the end of the day, which I don't think DPS is going to allow any trenches on a road to be open at night. So I don't see it an issue. That's why I signed off.
I would move approval.
Second.
I have one comment. Can we make the motion based on getting approval from DPS if that's what we're waiting for?
Well, DPS is going to approve it because this was actually, and we're not waiting on that. You guys don't need to wait on that part. DPS is actually requested this. This was part of when they came to us for an order of condition. This is actually for 190 rear Newberry Street. They're coming out from the rear, going through Audrey Gordon's house. I don't know if she lives there or whatever, somewhere 17 Pine Street, maybe. I'm not really sure. 9 Pine Street, 7. I don't know what the number is. They're coming through her property. That was part of the NOI. And then they're going, DPS is like forcing them to go down Pine Street and install this water main. That was another reason why I felt that it was necessary, because all this work is being done at the request of DPS. That's what it says, water main install within Pine Street at the request of the city's DPS department. So maybe I'm confusing you by saying that DPS hasn't approved it yet. They will approve it. It's their request. But as of yet, I do not believe they have approved it, and I do not believe work has started yet. But they need this approval first before they can do anything, regardless of DPS. This is at the request of DPS.
We have the motions. Now I need a roll call.
All right, great. That was made by Arthur, seconded by Jamie. Roll call. Chairman Lazares.
Yes.
Secretary Vivaldi.
Yes.
Commissioner Comac.
Yes.
Commissioner Athos.
Yes.
And Commissioner Harrop. Jamie, you're muted again. I can see you shaking your head and you made the motion, so I think we're good, hopefully. Yep.
Okay. Exemption letter notice for 5 Allen's Lane for test pits / percolation tests were an exempt activity per 310 CMR 10.02 paren 2 and paren B2 paren G. Need a motion to accept the exemption letter.
Move to accept.
Second?
Second.
Come on, Jamie.
I
Okay.
know. I was like, should I keep? I'm sorry, guys. My computer keeps freezing and won't let me
That's
unmute.
all right. Second by
I'll give
Mike
this one to
Vivaldi.
Mike. Yes.
Second by Mike.
All right,
Roll
that
call.
motion was made to accept the exemption letter for the test pits. Whew, thank God, because they already did the test pits. That was made by Mr. Athos, seconded by Mr. Vivaldi. Roll call. Chairman Lazares.
Yes.
Secretary Vivaldi.
Yes.
Commissioner Comac.
Yes.
Commissioner Athos.
Yes.
And Commissioner Harrop.
Yes.
All right, so that passes 5-0.
And Lucia, just to confirm, I was a yes on the previous motion as well, to your point.
Thank you, Jamie, for the record. Thank you.
Sorry.
All right, tree request, TBR to be removed, 9 Nancy Ave, Johanna Okoa, Eden and Sons Landscaping for dangerous trees, to be removed. We approved it on 4/30/25 with conditions. We need to make a motion to accept and approve, or was it done already?
Oh, I already gave them the protocol has been like if you guys have been allowing me to sign off on these, the
Okay.
picture should be up on there, the permit should be up on there with the conditions. So if if you guys don't agree with what I'm doing, you have to let me know. But like since the pandemic, this is what we've been doing.
I need a motion
If
to
I don't
approve.
ever feel that if I feel that I shouldn't be signing off or something seems fuzzy to me, I will make you guys discuss it at a hearing. This particular one, I confirmed that the trees were dangerous. I believe again I haven't, it's been a while since I've looked at it because I approved it in April. It should be on the OneDrive, and I believe they were all like in landscaped areas like near pools and stuff, and one was close to the wetlands, and that one is not being grinded or grubbed. I believe that was the condition. I can go and check if you want me to. It's all on the OneDrive for you guys to review.
I
Okay,
see. I see. I'm looking at it.
I need a motion to accept and approve.
To approve.
I'll second.
All right, thank you. That motion was made by Mr. Athos, seconded by Ms. Harrop. Roll call. Chairman Lazares.
Yes.
Secretary Vivaldi.
Yes.
Commissioner Comac.
Yes.
Commissioner Athos.
Yes.
And Commissioner Harrop.
Yes.
All right, so is this how you guys want to handle trees, or do you want the people to come to every meeting and you guys vote on all of them?
Like you doing the initial approval and us approving your approval.
All right, just because we did do it that way, and it was like just gobbling up a lot of time, and that's why we started doing it this way. So unless you guys have an issue with my discretion, I believe you gave me permission. Like I feel like we have this conversation every like 6 months maybe, and I just want to confirm with you guys that you are giving me, it's at my discretion. You guys feel comfortable. If I don't feel comfortable, I 100%, like for Brody's, I didn't feel comfortable approving that. So you guys approved it at a meeting. So if if you guys want to have further discussions on these and you think I missed the mark on some of them, please let me know.
The only question I always have is, has the work been done? And if it's been done, then it's kind of moot. We just have to approve it.
Well, but then the alternative would be we would have to go through the hearing and all these
Right.
people have to present their plot plans and what the trees are, like which is laborious. And we approve them anyways. And I think Lucia sort of being out ahead of it.
I agree.
Yeah, good.
Last item, approval of the minutes. Need a motion to approve minutes from April 9, 2025.
And May too, no?
Well, I'll do that separately.
Yes.
There a motion to approve April?
Motion to approve April minutes.
Second?
Second.
Okay,
Roll
so the
call.
motion to approve the April minutes was made by Mrs. Harrop, seconded by Mr. Athos. Roll call, Chairman Lazares,
Yes.
Secretary Vivaldi,
Yes.
Commissioner Comac,
Yes.
Commissioner Athos,
Yes.
and Commissioner Harrop.
Yes.
All right, so that passes 5-0. Now on to May.
Motion to approve the minutes from May 2025.
If I remember correctly, that was a short meeting, wasn't it?
It was.
Move to
I
approve.
don't think I was there, so I can't vote. Is there a motion?
I move to approve.
Second?
I think you can vote. It's only minutes. It's not a
Well,
project.
he actually he can't. If he wasn't there and if he hasn't watched the minutes, he can't vote.
Where is second?
Mike is a second.
Mike Vivaldi?
Second.
All right. So that motion was made by Mr. Athos, seconded by Mr. Vivaldi, with Mr. Lazares not voting. Roll call, Secretary Vivaldi,
Yes.
Commissioner Comac,
Yes.
Commissioner Athos,
Athos, come on.
We're almost at the end. Why? The dramatic pause from Lucia.
Come on, Arthur, keep it going.
Where's Lucia?
are you a yes? You made the motion, so I'm assuming you're a yes.
No, we're talking Jamie.
No, I was waiting for you to say yes. We still didn't hear you say yes.
Yes.
All right, Commissioner Harrop.
So I actually was not there, so I can't vote for this, Lucia.
All right, so nobody can vote on this. So that May has to go till continue. So, all right.
Okay.
Are we ready to adjourn, everybody?
Motion to adjourn, please.
Move to adjourn.
Second.
All in favor, raise your hand.
Okay, no, I do need to do a roll call. That's part of the rules. So that motion to adjourn was made by Mr. Athos, seconded by Mrs. Harrop. Roll call, Chairman Lazares,
At 9:41, yes.
Secretary Vivaldi,
Yes.
Commissioner Comac,
Yes.
Commissioner Athos,
Yep.
and Commissioner Harrop.
Yes.
All right, and the meeting does adjourn at 9:42, actually, sorry.
What is the date now that for July 30th agenda? What is the deadline for the applications to get submitted for July
I think
30th?
it's like June 26th, and
So like a month before, right?
it's June 26th.
Okay.
There is a holiday in between, so it's a little bit more, there might be a little wiggle room with people if they ask for an extension. I could probably give them one. But it's just because the holiday is the next week.
Yep.
The deadline for new projects is June 26th. The deadline for continued commercial projects is July 16th.
Okay, thank you.
All right, bye,
And there's-
everyone.
Good
Good
night.
night.